All right, gang. We got important shit to talk about here. There's nothing more important going on in the world than this. You may be saying, well, Mario Kart World is coming out in 3 days. Who the fuck cares? We'll find out very soon. Shush. Shush. Sit your ass down and listen. We discovered that Peach Beach potentially has a variant going up the castle rather than going on the beach. I think there is something going on with Peach Beach. We don't know if that's going to be playable in 3-lap mode, in time trials, or if it's just part of Versus or Knockout Tour. And ever since we saw this footage of Wasdom in free roam mode exploring Daisy's castle, it has made me think that there could be another variant on another map, that being Shy Guy Bazaar, where right next to it there is seemingly like a course. Like, this could very feasibly be a course. And, you have this Daisy's Palace, this Sarasa Land map that, are we just putting this to waste, or is this a real thing? Like, it kind of looks legit. What's going on here? Is this just like the Peach Beach variant? And now we have new binocular footage that perhaps confirms this. I kind of resigned on this theory that Sarasa Land would be a raceable map, because I said, well, if it's a raceable map, where is the starting line? And now we have the most important piece of the puzzle. We have the coup de grace. Zoom in on this. What is this? This is a starting line. Ladies, gentlemen, and all the other kinds. This says Mario Kart. This is the checkered starting line. This is the Shy Guy Bazaar starting line. We can see the Mario Kart banner. Same colors, same font, and now we are seeing it on the Daisy's Castle course. Again, we don't know exactly what this means, if this will be like a time-trialed course, how this variant seems to be working, but this starting line here is a smoking gun, perhaps. So if this is a course, let's kind of map out what it might look like. So if you start there, then I guess you're not racing on this part right here. But you do go into the castle, probably. Likely go up these stairs. I guess there's like a basement down there, but this part looks like a course. I'm gonna assume we're going through here. Coming out up top, the road does curve to the right here, so maybe that's where you go, but there is a rail over here. And this player goes to this wood bridge that has this turn. So this is the starting line. You're gonna go through the castle, you're gonna go up, you're gonna go out, around, down, possibly to this over here, and then loop around and come out here maybe? I don't know. There's a ramp here, so maybe, that's one path that takes you back here, going this way, and then looping back around. Is that the track? This is Shy Guy Bazaar, so this area is closed off. This kind of overlapping section where you'd go here, but then come out here and be expected to not drive over here. I mean, Boo Cinema kind of has something sort of like this. But it's a little weird, if you're coming out of here, if you're coming this direction, you're going to kind of want to keep going this way. So it'd be weird for it to like somehow block you off. So I'm not really sure how that works, and maybe this does kind of debunk this idea that this is a full circuit course, that I can't really figure out how we're coming back around to the starting line. These tracks going this way and this ramp going up here, like all different ways to, head you into the castle, like that seems right. It also feels weird that these rails don't seem like you can get on them from this side, and you can only get on them from this side. So that doesn't really support like the idea that you'd be going back this way. So I can't really figure out how we're getting back to the start. I'm now even remembering that in the initial teaser, we saw a Mario Kart checkpoint nearby the first track, and this checkpoint, this does not represent a actual course. This is a Knockout Tour checkpoint. Although I don't think I've ever seen this checkpoint specifically used for anything. So does a checkpoint even mean that it's part of Knockout Tour or Versus Tour? It feels like it would. Is there some other use for checkpoints? Maybe even in like free roam mode that we just don't understand. Does a checkpoint a course make? So all this really does is confirm that this is used as a checkpoint or starting line in some capacity. However, if we look at the Knockout Tour routes, and we have seen people do this multiple times, it doesn't go through Daisy's thing. It goes through the Shy Guy Bazaar starting line. This is either its own course, or on Versus mode, when you choose your direction or whatever, it somehow lets you go through Daisy's thing. That sounds kind of fishy too, because I don't know why like selecting, I'm gonna go from Mario Bros. Circuit to Shy Guy Bazaar would take me not to Shy Guy Bazaar, into the alternate track and only when I do that can I do that. Also, like Peach Beach, the icon for this course is using the castle, which is not part of the original map, and this is using Daisy's castle, not part of Shy Guy Bazaar. So maybe that's evidence too. I'm very excited to figure this out, and I will have you know that I've poured over like a lot of these tracks, and I don't see that many others that, like Peach Beach, you know, are very obviously like have some other alternate track going on. Like I couldn't find the basis for it on other tracks. I even looked into this one because I saw Luigi traveling in this direction, which I looked into it and it's not the direction of the map, but he was playing in free roam because there were P-switch, so that didn't count. That was irrelevant. Like, I can't promise that there's variants. I can't promise that if there are variants that they're on any tracks that aren't Peach Beach and Shy Guy Bazaar. Anyway, maybe that's a thing. There's something going on here. I feel like there's something going on.